What's up, guys? What's up? What's up, guys? It's Puma, man. I'm coming here today. Let me get right. Let me get right. Like I said, y'all, what's up? It's Puma, man. I'm coming here today to give y'all the current state of the bloodline. The bloodline, man. You know, the bloodline with Solo, Tamatonga, Tongaloa. I mean, how y'all feel about this, man? With Paul Heyman walking around like a hostage. You think I got visions of Solo running the bloodline? Like, how I feel about it. So I'm gonna give you my opinion, man. I'm gonna give you my opinion. First off, let me start by telling you how I felt about the old bloodline, Roman's bloodline. You know, that bloodline, Roman's bloodline was a lot more shieldish than this current iteration of the bloodline. I hate to use that word shieldish, but it just seemed like Roman was a bit more, even though he was a heel at the time, he was a bit more arrogant, cocky. I'm better than you. Look at me, look at my presence. You feel it, you see it, you know? And I don't have to say anything. I don't have to do anything. You just acknowledge my presence, my greatness. You know, and that's the feeling you get. Like the mood changes with Roman when Roman comes in the building. His bloodline. You know, the Usos, you always thought they were badass, man. It's something cool about this. Like, it's edgy. Like, it's somebody, like, when the Usos stand behind him, you get the feeling as it's somebody that they really don't mind following, somebody they really don't mind leading the family, being the head of the table. With that being said, let's talk about this new bloodline, this bloodline 2.0, if you will. Man, I must say this new bloodline gives me the feeling of I kind of get some Tony D'Angelo. I kind of get some mobster type feels from Solo. I think it started with the jacket, you know, the dress code. You know, it came off a little more serious, making Solo feel like a boss. I thought it didn't fit him at first, but now week after week, Solo himself, not only as we're seeing him develop into this role as head of the table, we're starting to believe him in that role because of the skill he's putting on. A lot of it's due to the work of Paul Heyman, to the work of the commentary. But we're really starting, well, at least me, are starting to believe Solo as the next head of the table. We are. See, I think it's getting a little crazy because Solo was cool when he came out with, you know, with the one glove and the hand that's taped, you know, was gloved up. Now two gloves, I think he looks crazy, man. Solo doesn't need two gloves on. I know he's looking for something to stand out. The two black gloves is crazy. Let's be real. Keep the one hand that's taped, the one thumb that's taped, and the other hand with the glove on it, man. Just keep it like that. Keep it like that, Solo. But listen, man, I must admit, just the point being, you know, I hate to say this. I mean, we're just now getting to it, three minutes in, but hey, man, I like it. I like the direction that this Bloodline 2.0 is going. I mean, am I the only one? I can't be. I mean, Solo's really out there carrying this Bloodline. And I think the people want Roman to come back right now, right now, right now. I would hold off on it, y'all. I would, man. I'd see how far this Solo thing can go, how far we can take it. Maybe I'd implement some Jey Uso in there, maybe to get Jey Uso over. I mean, some Jimmy Uso to get him over when he comes back. Have him go up against the Bloodline. Maybe that's how you get Roman back. Maybe you have Jimmy getting beat down. But I would see, because Jimmy never got his story, man. Jay got his story. Main event, Jey Uso got Jimmy never got his story. Let's give Jimmy his story, the story he deserves. And man, but I like what this Bloodline's doing, man. I think they can run through the Street Profits, have Kevin Owens feud. An interesting story, man. I'd probably have Solo go on the whole acknowledge me trend just like Roman did, but I'd have Kevin Owens fall in line like Sammy Uso did, and you get Kevin Owens with this new Bloodline 2.0, and you get, so that's how you get that fourth guy right there. And so you can get Sammy back on the other side when Roman comes back. But you get Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens gives his word that if he loses, he joins the bloodline and becomes an enforcer for the bloodline. Even though he doesn't want to, Kevin Owens gets beaten and falls in line. I would love to see a story like that. Kevin Owens, the prize fighter, it kind of fits him, man. Kevin Owens with a badass gimmick walking out with those guys. It may look out of place, but we've seen Kevin Owens in a suit before. We've seen Kevin Owens come out there in that suit before when he was the Universal Champion. We've seen it. It can work. Think about it. Think about it. It can work. It can work. Do you get Sammy Uso on the other side? What we're doing is we're taking these same characters, we're introducing a few of them, and we're bringing this whole thing full circle, guys. We're going to circle back to The Rock, everything, full circle. We know, speaking of The Rock, Solo did something very interesting. He said something very interesting. Paul Heyman, last week on SmackDown, was about to get attacked by Kevin Owens. This was 2 weeks ago. Bloodline music hits, whatever, Solo music hits. They go out there, they save Paul. This week, they go out, coronation of Tongaloa as the infamous Tongaloa. They go out, right? And what they do from there is they make Paul say thank you to the two for helping him. He's in Tongatama looks at Paul and says, Paul, we could have let Kevin Owens kill you, but I saved you by orders of the tribal chief. Now that's very interesting. We know how Roman feels about Paul, how protective Roman Reigns really is about Paul Heyman, his Hall of Fame wise man, his Hall of Fame special counsel. We know how protective he is. So maybe there's something they threw out there, just a little seeds they plant, but we don't know that it's not Roman calling the shots. We don't know that. Roman could still be behind this thing. Roman could have told Solo, listen, man, I'm taking some break. You run this thing how you want to. You head of the table now. You know what I'm saying? I'm still the tribal chief, but right now you're the head of the table. And that's okay. So maybe Solo's running his thing. Maybe Solo's going to continue as head of the table. And Roman can continue as tribal chief. And Tonga can continue as the right hand. And Tongaloa can continue to be infamous. And Jay can be main event. You know? Maybe, man. We don't know that Roman's not calling the shots. We don't know that. Roman loves Paul. Why would The Rock save Paul? The Rock has no incentive to save Paul Heyman. Why? Why? It doesn't make sense for the story right now. The only thing that makes sense for the story right now is Roman Reigns planting seeds that Roman Reigns is the one that's still calling the shots for the bloodline. I like it, man. I like what they're doing, man. I'm going to wrap this thing up, man. I like what they're doing. I think they should keep it going. Man, there's going to be more content dropping soon, man. I'm going to do these little drives. Man, I have a lot of time. I'm sorry for the camera, man. I'm going to do some face cam stuff, but I'm just going to throw a little picture up in the thumb, and I'm just going to talk to you guys, man. Just let you know what I'm feeling, what's going on, what I'm thinking. We got Clash at the Castle going on next week. I'll be doing a review, possibly a preview of that. And we'll see, man. Raw coming up tomorrow. We'll see what's going on with that. We'll see, man. We got a lot of Cody stuff to talk about. Some AJ stuff to talk about. But, man, I just wanted to give you my opinion on this bloodline stuff, man. What you think, man? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling about Solo, man? Solo's song is hard. I love the music. I love his presence. I love the entrance. Man, I love it, man. Solo's really, really developing into the look of a star. You know, some guys look like stars. Solo, his facials, he's been watching. Solo's been back there quiet the whole time behind Roman Reigns for over a year, not saying a word and working on his facials, man. Solo's facials are amazing. I mean, his acting at this point, just off not saying anything, is amazing. It's amazing. He's stumbling on words.